Hello, my name is Tony and welcome back to Fragdicted. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about a new clone house that have been set up in 2020. They're over on Instagram. I'll be leaving the link to their Instagram account below. The company is the Cologne Factory. Stay right where you are. So the company reached out to me on Instagram and asked if I'd be happy to do a review. As with all my reviews, I wouldn't be happy to review the fragrances if I didn't think that they were up to standard and it's something that I could pass on and recommend to the people that watch my content. So it's always a little bit nerve-wracking if you have a company send you stuff that you're not aware of and haven't been recommended to you. But I was pleasantly surprised. The dealings I've had with the company have been fantastic. They're really polite, easygoing, and really helpful too. They said they'd like to send me a couple of fragrances, which they kindly did. I've got a couple of 13 ml fragrances, and this is how they arrived, which I was really impressed by. And they arrived really quickly too. And they arrived in the black box with their logo on, and it was sealed with their logo sticker. And then when you open the box, you get the Cologne Factory sticker there, and they arrive, I don't want them to fall out, in the little straw bed. And it was a complete surprise as to what fragrances that they would send me. Now the company also asked for some feedback on whether the concentration was right and whether they should up the concentration, lower the concentration. Now, personally, I'm happy with what I've received. I don't think the concentration needs to be raised any higher. Certainly, I don't think I'd want it less. The performance of both the fragrances I've received are very, very adequate. So the oil concentration is, I would say, about right. It doesn't leave that oil slick on your arm, but it lasts long enough. Let's get into some of the admin first. You can buy any 30 ml fragrance for just £10. You do have to pay for delivery on top, but if you spend over £25, the delivery's free. You can buy 3 13 ml fragrances. Now that is this size, and you can buy any 3 of those for just £12. Now I think that's great value and a great way to introduce yourself to the brand. Here are the fragrances that are available for her. And here are the fragrances available for him. So here is how you place your order. If you follow the Cologne Factory on Instagram, you'll then be able to send them a DM. So you message them directly with your order, or you can WhatsApp them. They will send you an invoice and you can pay via PayPal or direct bank transfer. Here's a quick look at the presentation. And you know what? The bottles are okay and the atomizers work well. Good spray on those. So let's move into the fragrances. Now I was really happy because I received one female inspired fragrance and one male inspired fragrance, and the female inspired fragrance I received was called Delightful, and that is inspired by Delina from Parfums de Marly. So for those that haven't smelt Delina, it's a rose heavy fragrance. It's quite a powdery rose, but this is quite uplifting because it's also quite citrusy and fresh. It's got some sweet florals and a real sort of poppy fruitiness too. It's quite strong, but it's also quite pretty and feminine too. Those that watch my channel know how fussy Bex, my wife, is, and she took this immediately and she's worn it a couple of times to work, and she's really impressed that it lasts virtually all day, and she's really impressed by the smell too. She thinks it smells a lot like Delina, which she has tried courtesy of someone that sent her a sample. Then if she's impressed, I think that's great because it means that it's not just me saying they're good fragrances. So a thumbs up on that one. And by the way, I think it smells great on her. Now the next fragrance I received, I wasn't as excited by because I'm not that fussed about the original. I like it and it's a really nice fragrance, but it's not something I get really excited about. It's not really my style. This is called Green Waters, and you've probably guessed it's inspired by green Irish tweed. So when I've tried this, it's got a bit more citrus up top. It's a bit more light and airy, but this has a real sort of ocean fresh and citrus blueness to it. It's more blue Irish tweed, I would say, than green Irish tweed. It's got a hint of greenness in there, but not the same amount as green Irish tweed. Now that perfectly suits me. I really like that about this fragrance. And for a freshie, you know what, this lasts really well too. The same as the previous fragrance, I got a really good day's wearing from it. I was really pleasantly surprised at how much I actually liked the wearing that I had. Now I've since sprayed it a couple of times on my hand and I'm quite happy with this, I really am. If you want a fragrance that isn't going to cost you a world but give you that similar DNA, I would say it's great. Now, I would say the Delina is slightly closer to the original than this is, but they both do share the DNAs of the originals. And you know what, I would say they're over 80% close to the original. And I calculated that with lots of algorithms and I put them into a computer database and out popped the 80%. So that's where I got my calculation from. So the company definitely gets a thumbs up from me. It's really intrigued me as to what the other fragrances smell like, especially ones that I'm familiar with. So I will be placing another order and I'll be quite happy to come back to you if you're interested with what those fragrances smell like. If you get to try anything from them, it'd be great to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And thanks again to the Cologne Factory for reaching out to me. Now I hope you enjoyed that little review on this new brand. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you receive the notifications as I release new content. And one last thing, don't forget to keep smelling wonderful.